Welcome to Safe and Secure, where we discuss the problems and solutions that make up the systems integration world. Each week, we'll feature industry leaders and experts to discuss the obstacles and challenges in our industry with your host, Kevin Rand. So, let's dive in.
Guy, how are you, sir? It's good to see you.
Doing really good.
Hey, buddy. So I know you just retired, but for those out there that are watching this, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and the security industry?
Well, I retired from the Littleton Public School District after 31 years and after 33 years of school safety. I've been in the security realm for the last 36 years now. And what I've been doing since I retired a couple months ago is I started an LLC for security consulting. And, started my first projects recently, and it's been going very well. I am still involved with the Partner Alliance for Safer Schools as the chairman of the advisory board. I'm also the strategic safety advisor for the Innovation Institute for Fan Experience out of Mississippi on getting people back into after-school activities and things. So I'm very honored to be involved in that. And I've been doing a lot of webinars, and like we talked about a little bit before this conversation, getting lots of copy mugs and things from doing these webinars and other things. But it's really good to be here. It's really good to be helping the paying back for after all those years. We think about it. Kevin met you when you were a security director many years ago, and you pay back. You pay back for the good things that we all do, and we do as security directors, and now as security practitioners for the security industry, as you are, and as I'm entering in here. So, we guess we never let go of our horses.
No, once you're in, you're a lifer. First off, thanks for your service. There's countless kids, parents, families that are a lot safer because you were involved with their lives. I know that for a fact. I tell people all the time, I am a true school security geek. People collect autographs and pictures and are proud to be associated with football players and baseball and this and that. I truly geek out around people like yourself and Mike Dorn and Paul Tim and Michelle Gay. And so I'm on a personal level, I'm honored to be able to call you a friend, to call you a peer, and to learn from you. So I appreciate that. So, Guy, obviously, K-12 is a tough world to navigate. You nor I were able to do anything just solo in a silo by ourselves, and it takes a team. And we're really talking about just the community and what is a stakeholder and all the people that need to get involved. Just kind of, what are some of your successes around bringing community together to get your security?
Well, I think you were a longtime director. I'm a longtime director. And we all have the school of hard knocks, especially when we started, there was not a whole lot of roadmaps out there for us to follow, or, goalposts and things. So we learned by a lot of hard knocks, and especially on my side. But, one of the best things that I learned was empowering our stakeholders in our school district. And empowering that stakeholders is not just the security officers or police officers that we work with. It's also the employees, it's the community, it's the other stakeholders in the community, such as law enforcement, the fire departments, the paramedics, the health department. I mean, geez, when we look right now, how the health department is so entwined into security operation plans now with our COVID response. It's amazing. But it's really what it's all about. What we're doing is we're building relationships, and we're pulling expertise from multiple stakeholders. From like when as a security director, when I contacted a manufacturer or a security integrator, I counted on them to help me build a holistic security system for our school district. And it was a partnership, and it was an equal partnership. We were like the Lego masters, so to say, but there was a lot of other people that were providing those pieces for the Legos for us to build these systems. And I believe that, and I know you do, Kevin, is it's all about, as the best way you can build the system is a good security operation in your school district is empowerment, and also building and unifying your stakeholders. Just like we say, we unify the technology, we unify our stakeholders, and we address the needs and the concerns, and we put together a holistic security response to our school district. And that's how we do it. And I think that I've been, in my last 10 years, very lucky at that, doing that. But, in the past, before that, we think there was, we had a lot of trips and things. But why is that? I look back at integrated security, for example, in the years 2000. Integrated security was that buzzword we all heard in the early 2000s about, we're going to unify our access control with our camera systems. But we look at how we did those things back then. A lot of times they were, you could only go to one company and do all those things and things. So then when that company went out of business, you were kind of in a bad place. You couldn't replace the system without a complete revamping of what you were doing. But what I see, lessons learned now for the younger folks that have taken over for us in the security industry, we kind of lessen those, we help pave a way for them to actually deploy things and evolve continuously. I know your firm you work for, you do those things, you help school districts to evolve and things like that. And my new role is to help school districts evolve from the hard knocks that I've learned. And that's where, when we look at you being a director in PASS and myself being in the PASS team, a lot of what we put forward in those documents is empowering people to evolve based on good holistic security components that they can put into their school district. And I think that's important.
Absolutely. So thanks for bringing up PASS or the Partner Alliance for Safer Schools. If anyone has not seen that document, absolutely need to go to it. And you were with PASS from the beginning, Guy. I've only been
I came in
2015,
and they started in 2014. So
okay.
The first edition was released, and I've been on there since after the first edition.
And we're on edition 5 now. Is that?
Yeah, we're on edition 5, and it's been as your contributions. What I want to say, it's not just me and Kevin. There's when we were doing all of these doing these recommendations on those guidelines, it was a multifaceted team. We had manufacturers, we had other security personnel, we had law enforcement, we had school psychologists and others on that were helping us. We had a custodian to advise. It wasn't, so we looked at all kinds of players. So just like building your team out in the community to put a good security system in, we did the same thing with the PASS guidelines. And now, as you know, Kevin, it's even a lot larger now. The team is beyond, I believe, us 12. We're now into the 40s and things. And it's really cool to see competitors on the team, like some of the access control companies or the video management companies who compete against each other. They're uniting for the common good of putting together two good recommendations for school districts to follow. So there, obviously we don't tolerate, we're agnostic there. Okay. Which is good. I like that because, it's really important to be that way because, school districts have a varied ability to buy different technologies and processes and components and things and implement them. So we need to be very cognizant of that in the Partner Alliance for Safer Schools. We realized that funding, maybe maybe it was a little easy for you and I to obtain sometimes. I wouldn't say it was easy, but, we were able to do it because we did it. But some people are, are challenged by that. Right now, we look at the COVID response, and that is my biggest concern is as we come out of this, those other concerns that we were putting in components to address and mitigate, COVID, they're still going to be there. In fact, they might even be more magnified now. And, we heard from, I'm sure you've heard the same thing from your fellow directors. I've talked to some others around the country, a little higher suicide rates, things like that. That's not really out there, but that data is going to start coming out and things. And the mental health concerns, having a wife who's a school psychologist, I hear it every day and see it every day.
Yeah. The PASS guidelines are just as important, if not more important, in a post-coronavirus than ever, I believe, because of there's a lot of common sense. You have $1 to spend on school security, do it here first before you start looking at all these other things. And, there's a lot that drew me into being involved with PASS, but probably the biggest component was It is a document written for school administrators to give them the game plan for school security. Because, Guy, as you know, and especially in your travels now across the country, I know me, I was myopic just in South Carolina, but now I'm all over the Southeast. Districts don't have the money. They don't have the resources to hire an emergency security management professional. They may have a bus driver, facilities custodian. Oh yeah, and now you're the safety guy. But very few have a professional security emergency manager on staff, and that past guideline, I think, really helps and fills that void to some level. I mean, you're never going to be able to fully fulfill that, but
it's one of our recommendations is to create a school district is to create a unified security life safety system that includes a emergency manager, a security director. But it's so important to do that. But in my travels here, I've seen in my new roles here is seeing human resource directors being the security director or the IT director and things. And so far I've been very impressed that the people that I am meeting, they do have a good security mindset and things, but it would be nice to see them be more of the, not wearing the multiple hats. But I understand that challenge, especially in budgets right now. One of the things that it's really worrisome right now for schools, and it's a secret. I wouldn't say it's a secret. It's just something we haven't read about. A lot of schools are losing enrollment now. And the reason they're losing enrollment is because of the COVID response over the last couple of years. So let's say, it's very common in schools across the country to have school choice. Mm-hmm. And, so you might be in another part of the borough in another part of in your state or city, and you drive into that great school district that's out there, and you bring your kids to that school district, and you're out of area enrollment, Right. What's happened now is a lot of those kids have gone back to their original enrollment places and things like that, or parents have put them in other alternative education groups and things like that. So what we're looking at, what we're going to see is, and I've heard from others in my community back in Colorado, that there's going to be some challenges, tremendous challenges with funding when we emerge from this, even more so than where we are right now. Right. And I see it here in Wyoming and Utah, where I'm working at right now. And it's kind of, that is of a concern. And we always know, you and I know, a lot of security directors, that in the past, some school districts, luckily in my former district, our thought was the security and the mental health components were the last things that were ever impacted by the budget. You held those in place at all times. But we know that's not the true in all school districts. So those are things that school districts are going to have to think about.
Yeah, it's definitely tough times. All right, Guy, so 30 plus years in the industry. I guess kind of a twofold question here. If you could go back in time and tell your younger self, hey, learn this and focus on this, or to somebody who's coming brand new into the K-12 industry, maybe they just got out of law enforcement and been assigned to K-12 first and foremost, what's the most important thing you think that you could pass on information-wise?
I think the biggest thing is to, when you become a security director, if your school district doesn't have safety teams at each of those school districts, to go back and create safety teams in your district right away. It's about empowering those schools to be able to deal with emergencies that are arising and going on in those buildings. So simple things like adaptation. When we started, we didn't have the incident command. Incident command emerged after the LA riots in 2001. And I remember in the Army, we were responding to the riots and things like that. So, and that was my first exposure to incident command at the time. We didn't have that. So I look back at that, I would go back and reaffirm establishing incident command. I would also reaffirm that, to my younger self is, take care of yourself more. I think about, as a security director, emergency planner, when you have a lot of lives behind you, it's, you can you have a lot of bad things that can happen, and a lot of good, because we do a lot of good, but a lot of bad. Just take care of yourself, And another thing I would stress to people is, security professionals like ourselves, we have some, it's that terminology you hear from cops that always say, like, that's sixth sense. That sixth sense part of when you sense something wrong, react on that. Don't just blow it off as you're being overly imaginative and things like that. I can't tell you how many times that, I tried to keep my rational, logical self. And then I got that sense that something was wrong. And that logical self told me that everything was okay. And it turned out it was not okay. So what I'm trying to say is just trust your gut, and empower people. Empower people is the biggest thing that we can do as security professionals. Empowerment is
absolutely huge. That's fantastic, Guy. Well, Guy, how can we contact you for more information or the past guidelines or just to reach out to you for help?
Okay, what I would recommend doing is going to the passk12.org, going to that website. If you're a school district employee, school security, anybody, a parent, a community stakeholder, I'm going to be running for our school board up here. I've been approached to run up for our new school board members, anybody that has a stake in school safety, parent, the baker down the street. You can sign up register at the passk12.org website and sign up for those guidelines. So you can go in there and you can send us emails when you register, and we will set up a professional like Kevin or somebody that will come in and help you address your questions, because we're not in there for profit. We're in there to help. That's what we're there for. Just like I have never seen a better group of individuals who have basically sacrificed their own time and their own funding and things like that to give something for free back to the schools, and very tangible information. The assessment sheet that you get and the information that you get, you're getting a lot of probably hundreds of years of experience from folks like Kevin, Mike Garcia, Mark Williams, Chuck Wilson. I mean, there's so many guys that are behind the scenes doing this, and it's an honor to work with them. So please sign up for that. And I'm always available for any questions or help. Again, it's like we were talking about, the big part of what our job, Kevin, is to, it's not about, making money. It's about helping the others now that are in our jobs and in our positions or going forward to do really good things to maybe avoid some of the pitfalls that we had. You always make me laugh. I always think about that, when you were at the campus safety conference speaking, and you talked about, how people were buying Hello Kitty radios.
Right.
And well, that's what I'm saying. We're here to help you avoid implementing Hello Kitty in your school. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Sign up, please, and we will help you avoid those pitfalls.
Absolutely. Yep. Get the pass document and you will know why you can't use Hello Kitty. So, Guy, I appreciate your time today, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Safe and Secure. For show notes, visit a3communications.com. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to stay safe and secure. We'll see you next time.